Okay.
Good afternoon, guys. It's really exciting to meet in person. It's been a overwhelming experience, the last 2 years. Really, courtesy COVID, and I really wish that we don't tend to see another pandemic, in the near future. My name is Kshitiz. I represent Versa Innovation. We are the parent company of Daily Hunt. Daily Hunt is the largest regional language content discovery app platform with almost 400 million monthly active users and close to 90 million daily active users. And what is really interesting with this whole tsunami of users on our platform is that close to 80% of these users are vernacular users or regional language users. So clearly, as we deep dive into vernacular, vernacular is actually happening now. It's not the future. So, guys, I think India is at the cusp of digital revolution, where digital is all set to overtake traditional mediums, 900 million odd TV reach with 85% of local language advertising happening on television. It's crazy, right? 600 million reach of print, 75% of local language advertising happening on print, 1.2 billion digital reach. And by the year 2027, they will be almost 60% of local language advertising happening on digital. And I think it's a great sign. If you see back in 2020, 90% of the vernacular language, the 90% of the English language, advertising was actually happening in digital in the year 2020. And by the year 2027, we will see vernacular overtaking English language ad markets in a big way. So clearly, vernacular languages rule the roost across advertising medium. It's here to stay for long. And this phenomena is actually not just limited to tier 2, tier 3 cities, or rural India as such. So almost 50% of urban active internet users are Indic language users. And these Indic language users have a very strong brand loyalty, and this is the study done by Kantar in the year 2021. They tend to stick to the brands they like, and they pay extra to personalize products that suit them. They buy products from the company that gives back to society. So this whole urban population is also very language diverse. So if any brand sitting here, they should really take a note of this. It's not just only limited to tier 2, tier 3 or rural markets. So who are these vernacular users? What really defines them? And it's pretty interesting. And I would like to quote what Nelson Mandela said here. If you talk to a man in the language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart. So such is the power of mother tongue. And it's basically our brains are hardwired at a very early stage, to process information in our mother tongue. And it happens everywhere, wherever we go, whenever we are interacting with each other. The moment we come to know that, oh, that person is also speaking the mother tongue that we speak, there's an instant connection. There is an instant bonding, that comes into the picture. And it doesn't happen in India, but outside India also, across the globe. So the mother tongue theory plays a pivotal role in driving this whole vernacular growth. And then, interestingly, the theory of concentric circles comes in the picture. Apart from, in addition to the languages, this whole theory of like the moment we get evolved or settle down in life, our circles become very very limited between home and work. So what we are really interested in is that okay, what is happening around us rather than going too broad. We are more kind of open to know about if I'm living in Noida, I will rather know much more about Noida rather than going to probably Gurgaon or Delhi as such. So I think this hyper local element, and this is what we are seeing in on our app also. Almost 50% of our users are consuming hyper local news and content day in day out. So the moment they come to our platform, they select their languages. The first thing that they do is that they select their particular cities, and that's how they consume information, overall. So the theory of concentric circles also is a prime driver for vernacular growth. And this is one of my very favorite slides. I think what happens when this tsunami of users come to your platform, how do you really monetize those users as such, and also make sure that they get personalized experiences and not just spray and pray approach. And I think we at Daily Hunt are spending disproportionate amount of time, energy, resources in really, really cracking this piece of how the users are actually responding on the app. What kind of content they are clicking, what articles they are reading, what kind of ads they are clicking as such, and how do we best give them the most personalized experiences so that they really enjoy keep coming back to the platform. And the result is there to see. If you look at almost 3 to 4 years back, the average daily time spent on the app on Daily Hunt was not more than 15 to 20 minutes, and now it is almost 1 hour. So that's a big average time spent on the app. If you really probably broadly look at globally also for that matter. So definitely, and what is really interesting is that as these users come on the platform, the tech stacks or the engines at the back end, it acts like a fodder to the engine. So the more the users come, the more the users interact, it becomes fodder to the engine. The engine is much more it gets these data points and actually personalize these experiences on the go. So the more data sets comes to the engine, the better for the engine to really give personalized experiences to these users. So that has been working very very well for us. And definitely once we have cracked this whole piece of AI, ML, all technology stacks, this has actually resulted in 3 to 4x higher CTRs in regional language creatives as compared to any other English language creatives as such. So if you are talking to the person in the same language, that results in much better call to action compared to any other languages as such. So and last but not the least, I think one thing that I would like to kind of share is India was and still isn't actually an English speaking country. The next 300 to 400 million of mobile internet users will be regional language users, period. It's very, very clear. And if the internet is not able to talk to them in the language they understand, definitely, they will not be consuming internet, by all means. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
We still have 2 minutes left, so
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just check in case if there are any
Yeah,
questions
please,
from
yeah,
the
please.
audience. Do we have any
I'm all-
questions coming in? If so, then Kshitiz will be more than happy to share his thoughts. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we have a question.
Kshitiz, thanks for that.
Hi.
Hi. So from an advertising perspective, right? We hear that in India the fortune's at the bottom of the pyramid, but most advertisers are probably advertising to that the top of the pyramid. So for the mass market brands, rather for the non-mass market brands, do you see the local advertising also, local language advertising, delivering those kind of lifts that you were talking about?
Can you just repeat it again? I just didn't understood the last part of it.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
articulate that
rephrase it,
slightly
yeah.
better. Yeah. So for the non-mass market brands, the brands that would typically have been English language advertisers, do you have any examples maybe on your platform where they've moved to more local language advertising content? And have you seen similar lifts in CTRs and in other metrics that you were talking about?
So for example, there are a lot of South brands. If you look at it, they are not very mass oriented. They are very region specific, and we see humongous traction when it comes to path to purchase journeys as such. So I think this whole because of the fact that tier 2, tier 3 cities and small pockets of India are actually consuming these regional content much more. And these local brands are definitely kind of coming on board, and and these are not very mass oriented. These are very specific city oriented as such. So we are seeing a high adoption of all these advertisers on our platform for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And on that note, we'll call it a wrap to the session.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, Kshitiz.
Thanks.